Dzień dobry. Ni hao, ciao. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you doing today? If you haven't been here before, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Whichever channel you're on, Love Norbury, James Alexander Estate Agents, or YouTube. Love to be with you. Give me a shout if you're watching live and ask any questions you need to, because it is Ask Jay Tuesday. So if you've got any questions, let us know. Hope you're doing well. If you haven't been here before, we are James Alexander Estate Agents. We're based in Southwest London, Southwest 16 to be precise. And we sell and let property, talk about the local market, the general market, all things property really. So how are you today? Hope you're having a great day. My name's Ken and it's 10. And that's why we call it Ken at 10, by the way. The market, as far as the market's concerned, busy as always. Thanks to our friends at the Property Jungle, they told us that we won an EA Masters Award this week, and they are looking for the top 5% of agents in the country get the Best Estate Agent Award, and we are one of them. Very proud to say. So thanks, guys, for letting us know. We're in the top 5%, and very proud to be so. And that's voted by the customers, not by us. So thank you very much to all of those that voted our way. In terms of the market generally, as it's Ask Jay Tuesday, I wanted to talk to you about interest rates. One of the reasons why the last recession wasn't so severe, the banking crisis on the property market, was because interest rates stayed low, and they're even lower now. There's even talk now about negative interest rates. What would negative interest rates mean? Well, that depends on your mortgage situation. First thing I should preface this with is we're not giving you financial advice here. Just an idea of something the Bank of England have been sounding out is, because we're all struggling, negative interest rates are a real possibility. This is where the Bank of England base rate goes below zero. In other words, it becomes more attractive for them to loan out money than to keep it. And this can encourage lending to small businesses and can certainly make mortgage rates cheaper. How much cheaper, you say? Will they be paying you back? Well, there are countries in the world where literally people are borrowing money and there is 0.5% or 1% actually coming off their loan every year if they just do nothing because interest rates are negative. That's unlikely to happen in the UK. However, if interest rates did go negative, you could certainly see the trackers where they're adding on plus 1% or plus 2% being considerably lower. And that's quite interesting. However, again, another caveat, if you're on a fixed rate mortgage, it won't affect you at all. If you're on a tracker mortgage, some of those tracker mortgages have got caveats in to say if interest rates go negative, that your rate won't then track at plus 1% above the minus 1%, if you like, meaning a zero rate. So in the end, you're probably going to have to pay, but it could be positive for you if you're on a variable rate mortgage, depending on when the deal you got was taken out and what the terms of that deal are. But all in all, what I wanted to say about that was a lot of people are worried about what might happen post-March when the deadline ends and therefore activity drops off. And what I expect to happen is very thin volume after that, unless we get this new first-time buyer incentive through, which could really ignite the market if it's done properly. I'm skeptical about that, as many of you will know. I think it won't be done properly. I think it will probably attach itself in some way to new build properties, and that's exactly the wrong thing to do. If you want to stimulate the market, you have to stimulate the bottom of the market. Flats particularly struggling at the moment with the EWS1, Grenfell scandal and the like, and they need help. They need stimulus. And one of the things you could do is support those people that are selling in order to expedite those works and fund them, because there's lots of people trapped in that situation. But first-time buyers need your help, and they need your help on two fronts, government. Number one, they're paying double the interest rates. I know the risk is higher, but if the risk is acceptable at 4%, surely the same risk should be acceptable at the same 2% that you're charging the rest of the market. I just think it's really unfair that young people get really penalised on those rates. If those rates were lower, then entry would be more affordable. And if entry was more affordable and we had the 5% loan mortgages, then that would stimulate the very bottom end of the market. And, if people don't sell those flats, those flat buyers can't sell and then move to the houses. And that's where the logjam is right now. So, hope that happens. But in terms of a lot of people are worried about, with redundancies and everything else, what might happen to the wider market. And my gut feeling is that as far as the wider market is concerned, interest rates will be at or thereabouts zero, and therefore payable rates will be between 1% and 4% for most of us, meaning that money is relatively cheap, and therefore it's cheaper to continue paying your mortgage than it would be to go elsewhere and try and rent, for instance. And therefore, I don't expect a huge exodus from the residential market. I think it'll be fine. What will happen is people will just choose not to sell. It may drop a little bit depending on how and where we are with the financial stimulus package around the coronavirus and particularly the first-time buyer 5% mortgages. We'll see, but it'd be interesting to see. As far as the market generally is concerned, lots of new stock coming on. Buyers have got a little bit more to choose from. So if you're thinking of selling, still a good time to sell. Why? Because the supply of property available to you once you've sold is bigger. And when it's bigger, you've got more opportunity and more likelihood of finding what you want to buy, where you want to be. It might be a bit more expensive, but then again, you might get a bit more on yours too. So it should even out in the end. One of the anomalies is that a lot of the areas outside of London, particularly the holiday destinations, have jumped disproportionately. Well, you know what, Londoners, we've had it our way for a long time, haven't we? Let's let them have their little day in the sun. As far as I'm concerned, okay, so they're catching up a bit. But the bottom line is this, look, if prices go down across the UK, they'll go down there, same as here at some point. And if they go up, then the same will apply to some degree. It won't be identical, of course it won't. But pretty much if you're taking a pot of money and you've got £500,000 invested in London and you take that same £500,000 and invest it elsewhere in the UK, then same, isn't it really? It's only for the people that are upscaling or downscaling that it makes a significant financial difference whether the market goes up or down a long way. So whilst normally I'd be saying, actually, no pressure, don't move now. I think it's quite a good time to move. As I said before, mainly not about prices, not about money, but actually just the supply of property available to buy. And that is the key to getting a new home. Lots of people are going out there finding and then trying to sell. As you'll know, that's against my advice. I always say if you can, first of all, sell. Once you've got a buyer on yours, then move forward and look for somewhere to buy. Having that strong negotiating position behind you can make such a difference in this market. So many people are on the market, and so many times now agents are talking to agents out of their area and saying, Mr. Such and such has just made an offer through us. Can you tell us about his property? And then there are some awkward silences quite often down the line with some agencies I've had where it's quite clear to me that the property is not saleable and not at a saleable price point. And if that's the case, then hey, what are they doing? They should be owning it, speaking to their client and saying, look, you need to do something on price if you want to get moving. But generally speaking, prices are holding up quite well, particularly in the middle and the upper end of the market here in Norbury, Southwest 16. A couple of good interviews coming up for you as well. Looking forward to speaking to the Norbury Lawn Tennis Club. I know you're regular listeners, so thank you for listening in. And interested to hear from their point of view. They were saying, I was thinking they would be struggling, but actually the opposite is true, because it's naturally socially distanced tennis, isn't it? It's the one thing that you can do where you can be sure that you won't be too close to people. And so, yeah, they're not actually struggling, but it's sad that we won't have their usual wonderful fireworks display. And I'd love to get more of you involved and connected with that club, because it is a great resource here in the local community. And I don't think it's as well known as it should be. At a later stage as well, we want to speak to the Brit School, which would be great. We've found a link there that should be very useful, and looking forward to talking to them and talking about all the exciting things that happened there and all of the icons that have come out of there. Goodness me, Amy Winehouse, wow. So yeah, that's it for today. Hope you have a fantastic day. We're off to do some videoing, and it looks like it's going to rain here in SW16. Hopefully it will brighten up a little bit later on. Until tomorrow, look after yourselves and your families. Stay safe and well. Take care.